Hello friends, you are welcome again to the Listening Empire. Many people are not able to work even after being motivated. They start to do something but after a while, they get bored of it. They are not able to read books for a long time, do not do regular exercise for more than a week. And no matter how many promises they make to themselves, they can never follow their new routine for more than a week. Perhaps by watching a motivational video, they get motivation. But that motivation does not last even 24 hours. After that, they again come to their same unmotivated state. If you are one of these many people, then this video will change your life. By following the principles mentioned in this video, you will be able to stay more motivated. And you will get interested in working too. To explain this psychological principle, I have to tell you about some pigeons. Some psychologists put a pigeon in a cage, in which there was a button in front of the pigeon. When the pigeon pressed the left button, the cage would open from the left side. And there the pigeon would get to eat tasty food. With time, the pigeon understood that by pressing the left button, they could get food easily. Then the psychologist placed two buttons in front of that pigeon. When the pigeon presses the left button, it gets food, but when it presses the right button, so the door of the cage would open from the right side, and it would have met a female pigeon. Now that pigeon had two options. Either it could have eaten by pressing the left button, or, by pressing the right button, it could spend time with its female partner. As you can imagine, if you were in the place of that pigeon, then you also know which button you would press most of the time. The pigeon did the same. The pigeon started pressing the right button again and again after leaving the left button. That is, leaving the food so that it can get the intimacy of a female partner. Then psychologists made more changes. They put an electrode in the head of the pigeon. On receiving the signal, it used to stimulate the pleasure centers of its brain very much. That is, it used to give a drunken feeling to it. After this, they again placed two buttons in front of the pigeon. When the pigeon presses the left button, its cage will open and it will meet the female pigeon. But when the pigeon pressed the right button, the electrodes in its brain started stimulating its pleasure centers. In easy words, the pigeon was having the same fun when the right button was pressed, which a drug addict gets from taking cocaine. Now can you guess which button the pigeon was pressing again and again? That pigeon was now repeatedly pressing the right button. It no longer had any interest in its female partner. After a point, the psychologist opened the cage so that the pigeon could fly free. But that pigeon still did not want to leave that right button and go anywhere. It was addicted to that right button and its beak was being repeatedly hit on it. The interesting thing is that after some time the psychologist removed the electrodes from the pigeon's brain. That means that the pigeon was not having any fun by pressing the button. But that pigeon was still going on pressing that button like crazy. In other words, the pigeon was foo*ked. Now, you are many times smarter than a pigeon. But, in some aspects, your brain also works like a pigeon. Naturally, we want to do that work again and again in which we get dopamine. You can call dopamine the pleasure chemical of your brain. From itching to taking drugs, whatever work gives you pleasure. Dopamine has a hand in it. We get more dopamine from watching movies than reading. That's why we read fewer books and watch movies more. We get more fun in porn than in movies. That's why the urge to watch porn is more than watching movies. And drugs like cocaine, MDMA, and LSD release the most dopamine in our brains. That's why those who get addicted to them, they steal money from the house. By borrowing money from gangsters, try to take it even by risking their lives. The problem is not only that you get addicted to these things. The problem is that these things increase your tolerance level of dopamine. To put it simply, the small things you used to enjoy doing before getting addicted to them. After getting addicted to them, you will not enjoy those small things at all. After getting a female companion, the pigeon had significantly reduced pressing the button to eat. And after getting the fun like drugs, it had completely stopped pressing the female companion button. It was no longer having any fun in these low-level dopamine activities. It was not happy being with the female companion. All he needed now was drugs. Dopamine is not just a pleasure chemical, it is also a motivational chemical. Neurochemicals like dopamine and serotonin are not being released in the brains of depressed people. That is why neither they feel like doing any work nor are they happy. If dopamine is not being released in your brain, then you will not remain motivated. The problem is that after being addicted to social media, games, porn, or sex, you don't get to enjoy the little things. The bigger problem is that after getting addicted to these things, you start running away completely from the activities that give you problems or pain. Just like normal people have a little pain in doing work or exercise. Now you are getting bored with low-pleasure activities, then you will start hating pain-giving activities. And the habits and activities that lead to success, or improve health, are pain-giving. No pain. No gain. This is the reason that you do not feel like doing some work. Like that pigeon did not want to fly by leaving the right button. When the psychologists used to take that pigeon away from that button, it started flapping its wings. Similarly, you don't want to go anywhere without your smartphone. And when you don't get it, you start getting upset. In other words, you are foo asterisk ked. So now the question arises, how can a person unfu asterisk k himself? For this, you need to do a dopamine detox. Dopamine detox is one such method. With the help of this, you can learn to take pleasure again from low-pleasure activities. With its help, you can get rid of addiction. Or at least you can reduce the negative side effects caused by these. Dopamine detox is a fairly simple idea. Do not do any work that you enjoy for a few days. Don't use your phone, don't read books, don't talk to friends, treat yourself like a prison inmate, who is neither allowed to meet anyone nor given anything to do except food and water during the day. In a few days, you will be completely bored. You will get so bored that you will enjoy doing simple things. You will also enjoy exercising, reading books, and working. Because now your mind has become somewhat unfucked. Now if you do not promote your negative acts again, then you will be able to perform well. Now let's know about some such motivational principles, with the help of which you can keep yourself motivated. In behavioral psychology, the name of the operant conditioning principle comes. According to this principle, we want to do those things again and again, from which we get pleasure or get positive reinforcement, and want to avoid those things from which we get pain, or get punishment or negative reinforcement. It's quite a simple principle to hear, but its applications are quite interesting. Just take Instagram. How hard do you have to work to see memes on Instagram? Not much. If you press a button, then your phone will be unlocked. The icon of Instagram is sitting on the home screen itself. Once you click on it, it will open. Just keep scrolling again. This is the easiest way to access dopamine. Like the electrodes in that pigeon's brain, now on every tap, in your brain, a little bit of dopamine will be released with each scroll. The effort of 5 seconds and 3 clicks, you start getting rewards immediately for doing so much work. That is, dopamine starts getting. On the other hand, getting dopamine from exercise is a very long process. If you exercise today, then after a year only there will be noticeable changes in your body. For 2 to 3 days you will have cramps in your body and you will have pain. For doing this work, you are getting a small punishment in a way. The same thing is also applied in work. If you start working today, then after many years you will start getting its results. That's why we don't feel like doing these things naturally. For this, you have to motivate yourself. You have to make it hard to do negative things and make positive things easy. For example, if your business doesn't work with Instagram, and it doesn't work for you, so uninstall it. Uninstall every app that is a distraction to you. If ever you feel like using it too much, and you do not have any work, then you install it. After login, you do it for a while and then uninstall immediately. So where earlier you were opening Instagram in 5 seconds and 3 clicks, now you have to wait for at least 5 minutes. You will open the Play Store, download Instagram, will log in. When this work becomes a little hard, then you will reduce it automatically. At the same time, you can use the principle to make all your addictions hard. Now let's see how you can make positive work easy. For this, we will use the same principles that are used to train lions in the circus. This process is called shaping and chaining. Let's know about shaping. In shopping, you split your work into small parts. And after completing a small part, you give yourself a small reward. Whenever the lion jumps from the burning ring, the circus master gives him a small piece of meat. With time, the lion learns to jump through that ring again and again to get the same reward. In chaining, after completing the whole task, you reward yourself. For example, in the circus, the lion is the first to get meat to sit on a chair. Then he gets a reward for jumping in the ring by sitting on the chair. After that, jumping from the ring and dancing with a clown also gets a reward. And in the last, he started getting rewards for standing balance on a ball. Shaping is being used here. After that, the circus master slowly removes all the rewards on the way. Rewards the lion only when he jumps and sits on the chair, jumps in the ring. Then dance with the joker, then sit on the ball. The principle of rewarding himself when all the work is completed is called chaining. You also start shaping, and divide your work into small parts, and after every small part is completed, reward yourself. Then gradually reduce those rewards, And when the work is completed, give yourself a big reward. We come from shaping to chaining by doing reward work over time. Because if you do not do this, you will get bored of the reward very quickly. Or you will start working for the same reward. By reducing the reward, you start performing better with the same reward. You can look at it like a game. A zombie dies by hitting just 1 bullet at level 1, now at level 20 it dies by hitting 10 bullets. Now you have to work harder for the evening reward. If even at level 20 the zombie died on 1 bullet, you would be bored with that game. It is important to increase the difficulty with time. Also, if you make it easy to do your important tasks, then you will be able to do them easily. If you have to go to the gym in the morning, then go to sleep wearing your gym clothes. Keep the shoe ready and aside, so that you do not have to wake up in the morning and find things to be ready. If you want to develop the habit of reading, then always keep the book on your table. Keep it in front of your eyes. Don't keep it locked in the cupboard. By using these small principles, you can overcome your addictions. You can develop some good habits, and keep yourself motivated. This was a very important video. If you like it then definitely like it. If you haven't subscribed then subscribe. If you haven't hit the bell, press it. Finally, you are amazing. Keep reading, keep learning, keep growing. Thank you for watching.